Hi friends, it's Joy with In Search of Joy Wellness. Thank you for joining me this week. This week's focus is going to be on the throat chakra. And I don't know if you guys have issues with communication. I know that sometimes I have a hard time getting my point across. And I feel that a lot of times if I'm hurt, I can't express myself correctly. Or even I'll start coughing during meditation if I don't want to face something that's going to cause a little bit of a trauma release or something like that. I tend to start coughing if I don't want to face it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to open up that throat chakra so that when we start to communicate, we're going to communicate our truths. And we're also going to communicate in a loving, compassionate way. We don't want to hurt the people that we love. And sometimes they're the brunt of our frustrations. And we need to learn to be a little bit more compassionate with our speech at times. So let's get started. We're going to start in child. And then from there, we are going to move into a cat and cow. So let's go ahead and let's bring the forehead to the ground, and let's bring the arms alongside the body instead of out in front of us. And this is such a relaxing child. Right now you can go ahead and set your intentions for your practice. Give yourself some thanks and some gratitude for showing up today. On your next inhale, go ahead and place your hands by your knees, underneath your shoulders, and push the torso up into seated. We'll go ahead and come into tabletop. Hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. And as we start to drop, how are we going to do this? Tailbone reaching towards the sky, dropping the tummy towards the mat as our chest comes through. Shoulders up and back, throat opens, gazes up. Exhale, starting at the tailbone, tucking the tailbone in, rounding the back, the low back, pressing the ground away, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, starting at the tailbone, coming up the back, coming to the ground, chest coming through, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, starting at the tailbone, tucking the tailbone, rounding the back, pushing the ground away. Go ahead and do this a couple more times in your own breath. I might have to pause the video because I have a kitty scrounging. You can hear her. Go ahead and do this a couple more times on your own. Go ahead and come to a neutral spine. What we're going to do from here is tuck your toes. No, we're not going to tuck our toes. That'll be too much of this. Go ahead and come back and sit the hips on the heels. Knees together. Slight curve in the back. Heels are off to the side. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. On an inhale, go ahead and bring your hands and grasp your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders up and back, keeping your ribs tight together so that you don't overextend the low back. Rolling the shoulder back, slight bend in the elbows. On an inhale, stretching the elbows out. On an exhale, we're going to take the hands over on the left side of the hip, keeping your elbows close to the body. So keeping that left elbow close into the body as we turn our head to the left. Ooh, I can feel that stretch in my shoulder. I jacked my shoulder up the other day. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. Feeling, ooh, that feels really good. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. Now you're going to grasp the hands again, interlacing the fingers, but you're going to interlace them the opposite way, the way that doesn't feel normal, so that we can get an even stretch. Rolling the shoulders up and back, keeping those ribs tucked together. Extending the arms back and down. On an exhale, bending and bringing your fist to the right side of the hip, keeping your right elbow tucked towards the body, tucked in behind you towards the body. It's a hard cue. Exhale, come to neutral, releasing the hands, shaking it out. Now let's go ahead and come into table. And we're going to do some organic movements with the back. So let's go ahead and do like funky cat and cow. Bending the elbows, pushing the hips back, pushing forward. Finding your own natural movement in the spine. Just trying to get some fluid moving around here and getting some movement in here. Ooh, I felt it pop like up in my chest. That's wild. All right, let's come to neutral. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do just a slight wrist warm up. So on inhale, go ahead and make small circles. Make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists are over your shoulders. Inhale, switch to the other side, going opposite sides. I hope. And inhale, come to neutral. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the palms of the hands off the mat. Place them back down. Inhale up. Exhale, come back down to the mat slowly. Inhale up. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale up. Exhale, slowly down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place the tops of the hand. I should take my bracelet off here. Place the tops of the hands on the mat, shoulders still over the wrists. This might be intense for some of you. It's pretty intense for me, but I feel that it's a needed stretch that we don't hardly get. The shoulders over the wrists over the shoulders, or under the shoulders. And here you can actually start to intensify this stretch a little bit more by leaning the hips back towards your heels. If your elbows start to bend in, then you need to come out of it. Oh, this feels incredible. On an inhale, go ahead and push the hips back. I'm just sitting on your heels. Let's bring up our hands towards our face, bending at the elbows. Open and close your hands. Let's go ahead and make some small circles with our hands. No. So, shoulders over the wrists, wrists under the shoulders, tucking the toes. On an exhale, sending the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and settle into our first dog. And actually cat paw it out. And that's in the stillness. I need to check to see. Okay, up some. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right foot. Step it through in between the hands, keeping the back toes tucked. Inhale, we'll raise the torso up into crescent lunge. Holding that pose strong, knee over the ankle, right knee in line with the second toe, pulling back on the right hip crease, pulling forward on the left, arms alongside the ears. On an exhale, we're going to plant our hands, step back, downward facing dog. Now, let's go ahead and step to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold, and an inhale, we're going to come to standing. And now we're going to do our tree pose. So, placing all of the weight in the right foot. Let me get my breath here. Lifting the toes off the mat, placing them back down. These are your roots. Grabbing the mat with those toes. On an inhale, you're going to lift the left foot up to the inner part of the thigh, the calf, or you can kickstand it. Placing the weight of the left foot on the pinky edge of your foot, helping you to open up wider in the hip area, and also giving you a little bit more balance, I think. Hands to heart center. Look at something that isn't moving. Go ahead and raise the branches up. Ooh! If you fall out of a tree, that's fine. Sometimes I can hold trees, sometimes I can't. It just depends on what day works for me and what day does it. On an exhale, let's go ahead and drop that left leg back to the earth, and we will do our flow. So from here, let's go ahead and come to our knees, tabletop, and let's tuck our toes and go up into downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg and stepping it through in between the hands, keeping the back toes tucked. On an inhale, we're going to lift the torso up, crescent lunge, pulling forward on the right hip crease, pulling back on the left hip crease. Arms or biceps alongside the ears. Front of the head reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, dropping the hands, coming back into our downward facing dog as we walk forward into a forward fold. Inhale, pressing into the feet, coming to standing, rolling the shoulders up, head. Last thing, we come up. And we'll come into tree on the left side. So planting the left foot down, the left leg on the ground. Bear lady weight in the right leg. Picking up the toes, planting them back down on to the mat. Lifting the right leg to the calf, inner thigh, or kickstanding it. Inhale, hands to heart center in prayer. Really feeling the strength of your body, the strength of your legs. On inhale, raise those branches to the sky. Exhale. Let's go ahead and release. Ooh, that felt good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our flow one more time. From downward facing dog, let's go ahead and step or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pressing so much into the mat, we come up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Planting the hands, you're going to step back into downward facing dog. And then on inhale, you're going to step or jump to the top of the mat. Forward fold, and we're going to come into standing. Planting the feet so much into the ground, slight bend in the knees, rounding the spine up one vertebra at a time, hands meet above the head. And on exhale, hands to heart center. What we're going to do now is a side body stretch that I really love. My mentor and instructor does this one, and I really love it. I want to step on my bracelet. So what we're going to do here is on inhale, you're going to lift the arms up to the sky. You're going to take the left hand grabbing the right wrist. And then you're going to take the right foot and you're going to swing it off to the side of the mat behind you, behind the left leg. As we reach towards the opposite side of the room with the right fingers, heart slightly reaching the sky. On an exhale, we can bring it in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, soften it. And inhale, stretch. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the torso down, keeping the legs where they are. We're going to take a curtsy pose. Take your bow. Yay! Good job, guys. On an inhale, we're going to grab all of that energy and bring it up as we place the right foot next to the left foot. And we will do the other side. So on an inhale, hands up above as you grab the left wrist with the right hand, stepping the left leg back behind you, keeping a little buoyancy here so you don't fall over. And on inhale, stretch over to the right side, heart slightly reaching the sky. Gaze is up towards the sky as well. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Go ahead and do it one more time. And on your next exhale, gather up all that energy. Oh, no. We're going to do curtsy pose. Keeping the feet where they are, bending the torso forward, arms come back as the gaze comes down to the ground. Torso is like top of the chest is touching top of your thigh. Curtsy pose. Good job. On inhale, we will lift the left leg and come into standing, meeting the right leg. Woo, shake that out. Feel a lot of tension in my hip right here. All right, good job, guys. Now let's go ahead and we're going to come down to the mat. And we are winding it down. Only 2 more poses before we go into our Shavasana. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do lizard. We're going to do pigeon pose. Keeping the shin parallel to the top of the mat. If you can't do it parallel, it can be in towards the body slightly. I'm calling this the lazy way of getting into pigeon. Putting the weight into the right leg as you extend the left leg back behind you, using your arms to lift the body so that you square your hips. You want this kind of buoyancy, so it might lift you up a little bit, which is fine. There we go. That's a nice. Now some of you can stay right here. Some of you masters can actually bend your knee and grab it from behind. One day I'll be there. Some of us can just kind of slither into it and relax. And open up that thigh a little more on our forearms. Or we can come all the way down to the mat and relax. Let's take a few breaths here. Pulling forward on your left hip crease as you pull back on the right. On your next exhale, planting the hands, start to lift the body up as you bring the weight over to the right side of the body again. As you take the left leg and bring it forward. And we will do the opposite side. Left shin parallel to the top of the mat, placing the weight into the left side of the body, using the hands for leverage. As you extend the right leg behind you, coming up slightly, bringing the hips back down. You're going to have a slight, you want to square the hips. Settling into it, you can keep your hands up, you can move your hands forward. I want to see if I'm pretty tight on this side. I'm going to come to my forearms here. Wherever you're at though, make sure you relax your head and your neck and breathe. Wigglies. I just said that out loud, guys. I'm sorry. I have a kitty who's in the hospital right now. I love her so much, and I want her to be well. Next inhale, go ahead and press your forearms into the ground if you're there. Placing the weight in the hands, leaning over on the left side to bring that right leg up to meet in front. We're going to extend the legs out long in front of us. We're going to do a seated forward fold. Let me see if I can pull up my pants. There we go. All right. Flexing the feet, toes facing your face, towards your face. Lengthening the spine, shoulders up and back. Inhale. On an exhale, we're going to lead with our heart. Come as far as we can. Dropping the hands, if you can grab your feet, that's great. On inhale again, we will lengthen out the body. And then we'll exhale, settling into our forward fold. And as far as you can come, go ahead and start to drop the head and the neck, or the neck and the head. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale. Go ahead and come to seated. And let's go ahead and bring ourselves all the way down to the mat for our Shavasana. Extending the legs long in front of you. Hands, palms of the hands facing the sky. Thanking yourself for showing up today. I thank you for allowing me to be part of your practice. Go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, keeping your eyes closed or heavy, rolling over to one side or the other, coming into a fetal position for a moment. Taking that top arm, top hand, placing weight into that, pushing yourself up into seated. Let me see if I can get my clip back in my hair. There you go. Thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of your practice. I hope you got some benefit out of it. I really relaxed after doing that. That felt really good. I feel like I can now tackle some conversations that I'm going to have here in a few moments. Hands to heart center, come to prayer. Thumbs to the third eye. As we bow forward and say Namaste. Join me next week when we will focus on the third eye chakra. We'll be doing a few headstand type of poses. So let's get excited for that. If you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's some areas that you would like some focus on in the comments, and I can put together some cool things and make this like a working community. You help me with your questions grow, and I hope I can help you grow with flexibility. Take care, guys. I'll see you next week.